Hello and welcome to this brief Long Island weather report tonight. I know I'm a little late. Just looking at the full moon. We have full moon tonight. Actually, Mars right next to the full moon, right here in this picture right here. Hard to expose both the moon for the moon and Mars. This is the moon, but you can't really see Mars. Yeah, if you go to a dark location without too much light pollution, like the woods, yes, you can see. Yeah, I was in the woods tonight. That's right. It was calm. It was cold. It was there for a little bit, with the moon shining bright. There's the full moon again, shining bright. It's just something about being in the woods when there's a full moon out and it's calm. It's really beautiful, peaceful. But anyway, we had a lot of clouds during the day today, but those clouds have pretty much dissipated now. They dissipated once the sun went down. It was another mild day, but we're seeing radiational cooling, and there was, when I was in the woods, some radiational cooling, not surprisingly, 19 degrees at the Gabreski Airport right now. So they're getting that radiational cooling tonight before the winds start picking up. You see they don't have the radiational cooling in New Jersey where they're dealing with some wind. And the temperatures are warmer there, upper 20s, and we've got 28 at Islip. So it looks like a little bit of radiational cooling even going on there. Winds have not picked up yet, but you can see winds are a little stronger at Farmingdale. And even though we have this Arctic front coming through where there's radiational cooling, it actually causes the temperatures to go up when the Arctic front approaches. So looking at our highs today, I think we got well into the 40s today. Yeah, 43 at Islip, pretty much mid-40s. In most locations today. Probably Jersey also saw mid-40s. Yeah, actually 45 Miller Air Park lows. Let's see, they got down to 21. I guess I don't know if that was tonight, but the lows in most areas were in the upper 20s. I'm kind of curious if that was, because we had a lot of clouds around today, so I'm kind of curious when that low of 21 actually occurred. Was it tonight? I guess it was in the morning. It was not tonight. But we do have the Arctic air coming in. Though, like I said, we're going to be on the fringe of it. So looking at our statistics for today at Islip, high of 43, low at 28, 4 degrees above normal for the day. That certainly won't be the case for the rest of this week because you see that high sliding down toward us. But again, the center of the high, once again, kind of going over the Midwest. This time it gets a little closer to us this week on Thursday. And then once it gets to the offshore position over the southeast, you start getting a warmer flow on Friday around it, which means a moderation in the temperatures. So let's look at the HRRR. I don't think we're going to have any precipitation to deal with. There will be some lake effect snows upstate, obviously. But for our area, I want 0Z. For our area, we will be remaining dry. However, there is a little disturbance moving through in the late afternoon tomorrow that may bring some more clouds and maybe a flurry or two. But other than that, you'll notice that there is some tightness to the isobars, but the wind won't be as bad as it was last week. But it'll still be breezy. It won't be calm, that's for sure. Looking at our dew points and wind flow tonight, you can see by morning the drier air starts making its way in. Dew points drop into the single digits. That's your drier Arctic air, northwest winds. And we continue with those northwest winds into Wednesday, and little waves of some drier air in the mix of less dry air, and that kind of could show where the clouds are going to develop and where there'll be more clear skies, I guess. Temperatures by morning will probably be in the mid-20s, and then for tomorrow, probably getting up to close to 30 degrees probably, but I don't think we might make it to the freezing mark. And then tomorrow night, that's when the temperatures drop a little more. We get down to the teens. And then for Wednesday, similar deal with temperatures reach around the freezing mark probably. Let's look at some of the soundings on here and see in the middle of the day what it looks like. So we do have a nice spread, but when you get closer to the surface, you see those lines are a little closer together, which may mean some stratocumulus. Let's see. Maybe a little less off to the south. Yeah, it looks a little better off to the south there. But I think tomorrow, at least for the first part of the day, we should see more sunshine. But as we head toward the later part of the day, that's when we'll see more of the clouds. Those lines start getting a little closer. We'll see some more of those clouds, that disturbance that will be moving through. So let's look at the RGM for the skies. So this is the RGEM. And you can see mostly sunny for the most part, but as you get toward later in the afternoon, early evening, you will see some of these clouds develop with this little disturbance. And then for Wednesday, we may see a little more in the way of cloudiness. Again, the RGM tends to underdo it. And then Thursday, we'll have increasing higher level clouds. It tends to overdo it. Let's go to the NAM. So this is the NAM for tomorrow, and it shows things fairly clear again during the day. But for Wednesday, it's showing maybe a little more in the way of cloudiness. These models may very well be underdoing it with the cloudiness. It's possible. It's possible they will be underdoing it. We've seen this before, and we've got to be really careful about that. The models have a tendency to always underdo that cloudiness that tends to pop up when you have that instability in the air. That's pretty much all of them. FV3, it's the other one. Tomorrow you definitely see what happens. So it's clear earlier on, and then like I said, toward later in the afternoon. But I still think it'll hopefully be a mostly sunny day for the most part. And maybe you can get lucky on Wednesday and have plenty of sunshine too, perhaps. But Thursday you'll definitely have to worry about more in the way of clouds. Looking at temperatures, you'll notice that, look at the dew points and wind flow. After Wednesday, you see Thursday, you start to see the wind become more west. And then by Friday, it's still kind of a northwest flow, but the dew points aren't as low, which indicates a moderation in the air mass again. So you can see that we'll probably be struggling to make it to freezing for on Thursday too, but I think by Friday we'll make it above freezing. But we may have a couple of days where we may be staying in the below freezing territory. We'll have to see if we can see any more lakes freezing over, because a lot of lakes really have not. Even though it was cold last week, we never really got that much freeze over. So we'll have to see what happens. But again, if we pull this out, the real part of the real core of this cold air is kind of going mainly over the Midwest. You can see that right there. So kind of a glancing blow. Next week is when we're going to get into the colder weather. I spoke about that yesterday. So have a good night. Thanks for watching.